Hello everyone, I just wanted to bring you up to date with regards to the Work Experience 2024 and give you hopefully some ideas and different ways that you can support your child in having a great work experience in July. We're about 4 months away from the work experience itself, and as you can see, a third of our students have completed their applications, they've received an offer, they've got their forms completed, and they've been returned to us, and they will be enjoying their work experience on the 22nd of July. What I'd like to do is just ask if you can take 5 or 10 minutes with your child over half term just to sit down and make sure that you know exactly where they are with regards to their work experience. So the data, as you can see, there are a small number of students who have not yet applied, and we're working with them at school, with tutors, with key workers, support staff, and also with some outside agencies to try and get those guys into the system. Third have made their applications, as I've already said, and have successfully completed the process. A third have not had an offer, and so we need to work really carefully with those guys in order to try and get them a place. And the remaining 40% have done everything that they've needed to do, but they've not had the work experience application and consent form returned from the employer. So the question is, which group is your child in? And that's really the purpose of these slides, to help give you some prompts to try and help them to get into that completed group. So the deadline for all applications is the 28th of March. Any students who have not made an application by that point will be withdrawn, and they will be spending the final week in school. So it's really important that everyone applies. We want every Year 10 student to go and complete work experience in the final week of the year. So just as a reminder, these are the page 1 and 4 of the work experience approval and consent form, and we need you to complete page 1 and page 4. So you can see page 1, very straightforward, some very simple advice. There's a place for you to sign and for your child to sign, and page 4 is really easy. It's just signing the back form, both you and your child, and your child's been emailed a copy of this. There's a Word document and a writable PDF that you can type straight on. You don't need to put your signature here. You can simply type it in and date it. That's the easiest way of doing it. And the reason why we've created this document, of course, is so we can email it, or your child can email it to employers. They can complete it, email it back. It speeds the whole process up, and it means that these forms cannot be lost. So once your child has an offer of work experience, they need to complete those 2 pages. You need to sign those 2 pages and get it sent off to the employer, and your child will have the employer's contact details as part of the process through the Varian website. I'll talk about that a bit in a moment. So how can you support your child? I think the first question just to ask is, whereabouts is their application up to? So you know that they actually have applied. If they haven't applied, then we need to get moving quickly. But like I said, the vast majority of students have made that application. If they have emailed employers and received replies, do they have an offer of a placement in July, and have they accepted it? So have they emailed the employer back saying, great, thanks, yeah, I'd love to join you on the 22nd of July. If they've done that, then they should have sent the completed application and consent form that I've just showed you, with pages 1 and 4 complete. If they haven't done that, then please, if you could read the application and consent form, make sure that it's all signed and check that so it's ready to go. You then don't need to do anything else. It's just a matter of completing that form on those 2 pages and sending it to the employer. They will do the rest. A lot of students have done that. A lot of students have also sent follow-up emails to chase the employers to ask for the forms back. Remember, 40% of the students are in that situation where they have the offer, they know they're going to a place, but the person hasn't returned the forms. We need those forms back as quickly as possible. We check them, and then we send them to county, and then they do all of their safety checks to make sure that it's okay for your child to go to that place, and then they will okay the place, and we're all ready to go. But without those forms, we can't move forward, and that's really, really important. If you do know the employer in some way, then it's worth passing on. The form just needs to be completed. They complete pages 2 and 3. It will ask them for an outline of what the students are doing. a lot of placements at this time haven't quite decided that. They can just put a couple of generic tasks and activities down in order to allow that form to come back. We don't need the detail. What we need really is the information, the contact details, insurance information, etc. And that's what county will go and check. So I can't stress enough, we need the forms back if the employers have got them. So chasing is really important. The students are brilliant on Instagram and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff, but they're pretty hopeless at checking their school email. It may be that employers have already replied to them, either offering them a placement or have returned the forms. Can you please ask your son or daughter to go online to look at their school email and see if that's the case. If the forms have been returned, then they can be sent back to us at school. So just an email to Mrs. Harrison, sharrison@penrice.org.uk, and she's doing all the admin for the work experience, and she will then process it from there. So if they have got it, please return it via email. If your child hasn't got an offer, then the first thing to ask is, have they applied? As I said, the vast majority have. If they have had a reply, then they need to accept it. But if they've not, then if you can help them send an email just chasing, saying, you know, I've applied for work experience and I haven't heard from you. I need to know, can you please let me know if I've been successful or not? It has to come from your child, but if you can help them write that, then that's great. Like I said, your child should have or will have the employer contact details as they made their initial application. So worth looking in their sent column on their emails to help them with that. It's also, if they haven't received an offer yet, but they have sent emails or letters, it is worth just going back onto the Varian website. For the link below, you can see this is the slide that you'll see. The student simply clicks on the student section there, and then they type their name in and their password. They've been emailed their password, so again, it's just a case of going back into the school emails. If not, when you go onto the Varian homepage, it's got a list of the various employment sectors, and you can go in there, and it's full of employers that offer work experience. So it may be worth going in and making another application over half term if they've not yet heard, but certainly do encourage them to send an email to the employer to ask for a reply if they've already sent that email. So if they have had an offer, please ask them to check their emails. I know I bang on about it, but it's really important. It may be that they've already had the application form returned, but they haven't seen that yet. If not, then they need to chase. If you could help them over half term, just emailing for the completed form to be returned, then that'd be great. And again, if you know the employer, if you can talk to them and just explain the importance of that, then that's great. As I've said, that's what we do with the form once we've got it. If your child has already chased the employer, so they've been successful, they've been offered a place, but they haven't got the form back, after half term, I'm going to meet with all of the students in this situation, get the employer's contact emails, and I will write to them just explaining why we need the forms back. So hopefully that will help. But an email over half term would certainly help things along. So just to finish off, work experience can be a fantastic week. It's a brilliant way to finish year 10. It gives a first-hand experience of the workplace, so the students really understand about the discipline of being at work, but also the enjoyment that you can get from it and the wide variety of roles and opportunities within the placement that they go to. It's brilliant to add to their CV, and year 10 students are writing CVs at the moment. So once they've completed work experience at the start of year 11, they can go back and they can add the things that they've done to their CV, and then that's ready for the college application or apprenticeship applications or whatever they intend to do in year 11. In some cases, it leads to a job, part-time work, or possibly a job later on if they've really impressed. And we have had people who've gained apprenticeships from that. And obviously it builds the skills that employers want. They're outlined there. It increases motivation, and research shows that students that take part in work experience often then really understand the purpose and the reason why they're at school and why it's important to work hard. And it does lead to an improvement of exam grades. So it's a crucial part of their education. It's a really enjoyable and special part of it. Things get really serious next year with the GCSEs, but this is a great opportunity to go away. So just to finish, we want all students to go out on work experience. We expect all students to have made an application by the 28th of March. Any student that has not done that will be in school for that week. and they'll be supervised, but it won't be anywhere near the opportunity that it would be if they go away. If your child has made an application and is waiting for a reply, then we will help them with that. If they're waiting for the application form to be sent, then obviously please send those emails and chase, but we will also help them with that. And then everyone should have made an application and be holding an offer by the 28th of March. So that is the plan. If you have any questions, then please contact me at school. But these are just some of the things that you can do to support your child and to understand where they are with regards to their work experience for the end of the year. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great half term.